So today, we're not just going to talk about what the disease is, we're going to get practical. This is a guide for you, for the caregiver, on what is, let's be honest, a really tough journey. Okay, first things first, let's just get a sense of how big this is. In the US alone, we're talking about more than 6 million people living with Alzheimer's. 6 million. And if you're a caregiver, it can feel like you're on an island, right? So lonely. But that number, it tells a different story. It means you're part of this huge, invisible community. You are absolutely not alone in this.
So what's actually going on inside the brain? Well, think of it like a massive telephone network. Your brain cells, the neurons, are constantly talking to each other. But Alzheimer's, it's like static on the line. These weird proteins, they're called plaques and tangles, start building up and they basically clog the system. They block the signals. And over time, the brain cells just die. And that's why this is a progressive disease that just chips away at memory and thinking.
All right, so that brings us to our first big topic here. And listen, if you take away only one thing from this part, let it be this. Alzheimer's is a disease. I'm going to say that again. It's a disease. It is not, and I mean not, a normal part of just getting old.
Okay, so knowing that, how does this disease actually unfold? Understanding the progression. It's not about being morbid. It's about being prepared. It helps you see what's coming down the road so you can adapt. So let's break down the 3 main stages. Honestly, knowing what to expect can make this whole journey feel just a little bit more manageable.
So in the early stage, the mild stage, you'll start seeing those things, those little memory slips. Where did I put my keys? Or asking the same question over and over. Then it moves into that moderate or middle stage, and this is when the damage really starts to spread. The confusion gets deeper, and this is often when they might struggle to recognize family, even close family. And then there's the severe late stage. At this point, the person really becomes completely dependent on others for care, and their body just starts to shut down. Look, it's an incredibly tough progression, no doubt about it. But again, knowing these stages helps you prepare for what's next.
Okay, so with that background, let's shift gears and get super practical. This next part is all about what you can actually do, the day-to-day stuff that helps create a world for them that feels safe, structured, and most importantly, comforting.
All right, let's talk about your new best friend, routine. Seriously, imagine your own mind is becoming a really confusing place. A predictable, stable outside world becomes your anchor. It's that simple. Things like eating lunch at the same time in the same spot every single day, that can make a huge difference in cutting down anxiety. And a really important piece of this puzzle, let them do as much as they can for themselves. It's all about preserving their dignity, their sense of self, for as long as humanly possible.
Next up, making the home safe. And this one is, well, it's just non-negotiable. As the disease moves forward, things like judgment and coordination get worse. So you kind of have to put on a new pair of glasses and look at your home in a totally different way. Are there little rugs they could trip on? Cords snaking across the floor? Are cleaners and meds locked up? These little changes, they're not just nice to have, they can prevent a serious accident.
Okay, now we need to talk about something that can be one of the most heartbreaking parts of all this, communication changes. But I'm going to ask you to try and reframe this a little bit. Instead of thinking of it as losing communication, think of it as learning a new language, finding brand new ways to connect.
This is such a powerful way to look at it. The things on the don't list, that's our instinct, right? We want to correct them. We want to say, no, don't you remember? We want to use logic. But in the world of Alzheimer's, that just leads to a dead end of frustration for both of you. Why? Because you're literally trying to reason with a brain that's been damaged. So the do list, that's where the magic is. It's about shifting your entire approach. Speak calmly. Use simple yes or no questions. Find a distraction. You have to remember, the goal isn't to be right. The goal is to provide comfort.
And this right here, this is maybe the single most important piece of advice you'll ever get. Respond to their emotion, not the facts. So if your mom is upset because she thinks it's 1975 and she needs to pick up your dad from work, arguing with her about what year it is will get you nowhere. But responding to the feeling behind it, the anxiety, the love, the sense of duty, that's how you connect. Saying something like, "It sounds like you're worried about dad," validates her reality. See, the amazing thing is that the emotional part of the brain often works long after the logic and memory centers have started to fail. You're basically connecting with the part of them that's still there, the part that can still feel.
So we've talked a lot about how to care for the person with Alzheimer's, but hold on a second. That brings up a huge and honestly often forgotten question. Who is caring for the caregiver?
And that's why this final section, it's not about them, it's about you, the caregiver. Because taking care of yourself isn't some luxury you can skip. It is an absolute,
core necessity of this whole thing. Let's just say it out loud. Being a caregiver is overwhelming. It is frustrating. It is so lonely at times. And you know what? All of those feelings are 100% valid. So taking time for yourself, that's not selfish. It's essential. You've heard it a million times, but it's true. You can't pour from an empty cup. So what does that actually look like? Well, the key is you have to be proactive. Don't wait until you're at your breaking point. Start building your support system now. Asking for help, that isn't weakness, it's strength. Find a support group, either online or in person, with people who just get it. No explanation needed. And hey, don't underestimate the small stuff. Taking just 5 minutes for yourself, to drink a cup of coffee in silence, or just walk around the block, that can be a total lifesaver.
So, let's leave it with this question. It doesn't matter if you're a caregiver yourself, or if you know someone who is, or if you're just learning about this for the first time. What's one small step you can take today? Maybe it's calling that friend who's a caregiver, offering to pick up their groceries. Or if it's for you, maybe it's just giving yourself permission to take that 5-minute break you desperately need. Real compassion, it always starts with one small action. So what's yours going to be?